Dabonid, as you're walking home from the Senorite, you have your mental defenses activated where you're constantly scanning around you. Anyone within your line of sight, you kind of like skim their surface thoughts. And because of this, you pick up a shorter person running in front of you, and you realize like there are no splashes coming from their feet. And you're smart enough to know that some kind of magical something or other is preventing this person from being as obvious as they would be. And the only reason you notice them is because of your ability to like pick up people's thoughts and whatnot. Do you scan her thoughts as this smaller elf person runs past?
Yeah. Just see what she's thinking.
As she runs past, she's just thinking, people, too many people, nobody else talk to me.
Well, I guess I'll do her a favor, leave her alone.
Cool. You keep walking, scanning the area around you, watching for people, understanding the Norslets keeping their eyes on you, and you make it to your house, and you want to relax, so you step down into your lower stories, into the water, and just begin swimming around in it, and then eventually go lay down on one of your chairs, and just sit there. And as you're sitting there underwater, breathing in, relaxing, what are you thinking about, Dabonid?
That's a very good question. I feel like Devin would be thinking about his suit a lot more. You know, he just made it. He just made it tighter, more compact. And, I mean, as a scientist, everything can be perfected. And Devin feels like there's more, much more that he can perfect for the suit. Like making it a little bit stronger, durable, or defense systems, maybe a hidden blade, something to get the Norsefolds off of him if they go at him again like they did last time. And he's going over some thoughts in his mind of previous experiments, previous things that he thought of, or that he worked for, or worked at while working for Hank Galdrich. A suction cup comes to mind for some reason. It latches on to his thoughts. Seems important. And, kind of, if I can weaponize this to where I can stick someone later on with a needle, and then the suction in that pulls the blood out, that could work as well, so he won't have to drain blood or fill up his blood packs as much. Just stick them, suck in the blood, and it goes directly to his mind or to his blood pack.
Okay. So you want to... Is that all? So
Right now he's just going to make a few suction cups for armor.
Okay, so you're going to head back up to the surface and start working on stuff?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So you head back up to the surface where your work desk is, and the things open up and come out. Your desk is, that tubular thing with all the little segmented parts, and you pull off your exoskeleton as the needles withdraw from you.
Ooh.
And you said you wanted to make some kind of suction cup attachment?
Yeah, for normal vampires have the ability to climb up walls, or at least most of them do easier.
Okay. Okay, and you want
But-
that same sort of thing. Yeah, I mean, the suction
Yeah.
cups aren't too hard to make, so yeah, you're able to, like, pull out some stuff and make some decently strong suction cups and apply them. Do you listen to music while you work?
Oh, yes. Actually, before he goes over to his tubular desk, he is going to go over to his vinyl records and pick out one of his favorite ones. And it's an older one, older Bergish, Bergish one.
So you play this little Bergish piece.
Yeah.
There is some clapping and whatnot as the song starts, as it's an old recording. It was a live recording, you believe. You weren't alive to get it, but your father gave it to you, and he was. You, after putting this on, start working on this. Tell me what all features you want to put on this thing, and I'll have you roll for each one successively.
Right now, I want some suction cups around the hands, so that they won't get in the way if he just does normal stuff. But if he needs to start climbing up walls, it's easily accessible.
So yeah, you have these suction cups attached to your hands, and you make it to where like they lay flat on there, and then using some of Sarah's engineered muscles, the same sort of things she used to make your suit, they pull the rubber down to like mesh with the regular part of your hand. But then whenever you like flex your hand a little bit, it raises up and becomes a normal suction cup, and you can press down and it'll make suction, allow you to climb. Anything else?
Yeah, he's gonna start working on a blade, a hidden blade on his left arm. And, just something you can pull out, stab, or throw.
Okay.
Something he can use at a distance before he actually needs
Right.
to use his own hands.
Mm-hmm. So you make this little attachment thing to your wrist, like an Assassin's Creed thing,
Yeah.
or like a more okay,
Yeah.
like a launcher, like it will fire it to a distance, or like just that melee weapon like they have in Assassin's Creed.
Let's do a distance.
Okay.
Make it a little bit more interesting.
Again, using those same muscle things that you've had before, you're able to, build this nice little contracting thing, get it in there. Right as soon as you get that part done and you put the suit back on, you get a call from Ruth.
Oh. I walk over and pick up the phone. Hello?
My sire, this is Ruth.
Yes.
I have some information to report to you. The other person who would have reported it couldn't. Could you switch to a more secure line and recall me?
Yes. I hang up the phone. I reach over to the side of, hang up the radio, reach over to the side of the radio, and I flip a special switch that secures the line a little bit more.
Mm-hmm. And you
then
call
I
it back?
Dial up. Yeah.
Cool. And she picks up and goes, My sire, Krimith wanted me to tell you that he's caught someone that worked for Mr. Hewlin von Gimsbach that might have some information for you. He's been torturing him to get information out of him. He thinks it'd be best if you could go yourself and see it. And one more thing. That's something you should be aware of. The Lord Marshal, Geoffrey Phillips, he's gone missing. There's a lot of people scrambling to find him. Should I look into this further?
When did he go missing?
just earlier this evening.
Yes.
Very well.
Keep a close watch on what they're doing.
She tells you the location of where Kremis is. Says you should probably go there yourself and listen in. Kremis likes to get carried away.
Very well.
She hangs up.
I look at the coordinates and what did the coordinates tell me?
They tell you that they tell you exactly where it is.
Okay. In which case, I will the North Slits.
Leave.
Yeah, I'm gonna leave. But I
So
don't
you walk
want
out
to
the
get
door,
caught by the North
and
Slits.
so you're gonna walk out,
Yes, I'm gonna walk out.
and you begin to head down the street, and
I'm-
you realize that people are following you. Coming up,
Yes.
you feel their minds as you've been pressing in on them for a while. You've come pretty accustomed to knowing these exact minds, and they're following you.
Being a Vidalcan and loving water, are there any drain systems, like waterways?
Yes, there are dozens of drains and waterways, Spencer. There are all kinds of things throughout this city. Genius.
Since it rains all the time, just kind of gotta wonder.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna try and get in one of them and evade their.
So you round a corner and head to get out of their line of sight, and then you see one of the storm drains, and you just jump in. As soon as you hit the bottom, there is this incredible current that tries to sweep you away, and you start getting brushed backwards. You slam from wall to wall and eventually grab onto one of the walls, activating the suction cups, and are able to hold on. And then you're able to make your way in the direction you're wanting to go. Eventually,
glad I'm a vampire.
right? Eventually you make it to where you're wanting to go. With the strength of your suit, this is not a problem at all for you to just crawl through this. And it's actually pretty quick going, because after a minute you come to a place where you can turn and the water's flowing in that direction. So you can just follow the current basically the rest of the way there.
Okay, sweet. Man.
You get to the location and you start climbing the wall. And you come out soaking wet. You're soaked as you stand up, which, to be expected anyways because, of the rain, so I guess no one would think anything of it. And you stand there, and you're now here at a warehouse.
Okay. I was about to say, how far away from it? Okay.
Oh, you're just right outside the warehouse, yeah.
Oh, lucky. I'll make my way inside.
At first you hear nothing, and then you come to a little, insulated room, and you open it up, and immediately the room feels warm, and you hear a whimpering from inside.
I kind of dust myself off a little bit, not drenching in water.
Mm-hmm.
And then I make my way that way.
Kremis spins around the corner with a lass carbine held at chest level, and then stops himself just before shooting you. Sir, my sire, you're here. He kneels.
I raise my hand as if to say, all right. Now, what were you wanting to tell me?
He
Or
walks
show
around
me.
the corner, and you see an enforcer tied up on the chair. And you see that Krimith has been flaying his skin off. He's pulled his nails out. There are electrodes hooked up to him. The man is shivering. Krimith steps over and says, "Now, tell Mr. Arnok what you told me if you want to get out of this alive." The man kind of shakes a little bit, and Krimith presses a button, electrocuting him, and he looks up at you and says, I work for Huel. I'm an informant on him. I was told to watch you and others. I'm a Norsefeld's officer.
Primus, I was about to say, what was this all about? Thank you for answering that question for me. Tell me everything you know about Sarah. And where
Sarah?
are they keeping her?
I don't know anything about it. I just know that do you mean the science division girl?
Yes.
I swear, I don't know anything about that. I just know that they took her. I know that they took her and they ran away. I can give you the location of multiple safe houses that would be likely places to hold people.
Where and why would I trust you?
I don't want to die.
Well, that's fair. But what proof can you give me? How can I tell that you actually have something valuable?
He just kind of like hangs his head, looking defeated.
Tell me about these safe houses.
He explains the safe houses to you. And then finally, after you've gotten your information, you both walk away from where you were. And Krimith steps over with you and sits down. So any news from outside? I think Huel knows what's up. He's keeping Edward, and he's watching you specifically. I don't think he trusts what the information with the Circle of Truth revealed.
He has no reason to disbelieve it.
Well,
however,
that person over there says otherwise. He said it earlier.
it's quite hard to evade. Truth is something hard to come by, especially nowadays.
Oh, I trust me. And I trust my ability to get information out of him.
What has he said about Agony? Or Huel? Have they been working together?
Doesn't seem to be the impression that he got. But if you want to figure anything out, he did say that Burgundy has knowledge of Annie. Angel Bradley. You know, the little human woman that made such a stir here not too long ago?
Dabonid's fist, it clenches. He's definitely heard of Angel Bradley, and he's definitely heard of Ackerman's uh, love for her.
You could probably use it as leverage over Ackerman if you needed to. Or revenge, he says, clicking his claws together. What are my orders, sir?
Find out as much as you can. Clean things up. And then destroy the body
Yes, my
to the
sire.
point that destroy the body to the point it cannot be revived, resurrected.
Yes, my
When
sire.
knowledge found out about it. And then go into open square, throw him down from the square, and make a public scene of him, and get out of there.
It will be done. You then just casually begin strolling out, making your way toward the project building where the Signoret has been working on, the military stuff. There, one of the assistants you haven't paid attention to a lot had some reports for you. You go take those. I assume, yes?
Yeah, I'll
Okay.
see what the person wants.
And while you're there, she hands you just the reports. And while you're there, go ahead and roll the roll for, the progress on the project.
Oh, yeah, man. Almost forgot about that. That is a 17. Not too great.
17.
Right.
All right. And then she comes up to you and reports to you the progress that, it's not terrible, but, without Sarah, sir, it's going pretty slow. Let me just say that you're not the only one that feels her loss, sir. And I don't just mean from the standpoint of an intellectual. I mean, Sarah was a true gem to have around. We're all sorry, sir. She is wearing, a nice, shorter skirt, lab coat over it. She's got glasses on and her hair kept back neat, and, just all brushed very neat, and then probably matted by something before taken into a ponytail, then wrapped into a bun.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
How beautiful would she say she is? Or how pretty looking?
She's pretty good looking, I suppose. Ackerman has good taste in AIDS, I suppose you could say.
Oh, excuse me. Let me mute this up. Okay.
Anyways.
Yeah. I bet he does. Okay, yeah. Yes.
She says that, and then she looks away, and then kind of walks out of the room a little sad. And then you, dusting yourself off, looking over the reports, seeing that things haven't come along, you begin to walk home.
Yeah.
And I think that's where we're going to end it for tonight.
Non, rien de rien. Non, je ne regrette rien. Ni le bien